In the next 10 minutes, I'd like to talk about me and how I, and working with a group of dedicated, selfless people, are helping cancer researchers engage with the community. I'm a member of the Consumer Advisory Panel at the TCRN, the Translational Cancer Research Network based at the University of New South Wales. It's one of the 7 TCRCs funded by the Cancer Institute, New South Wales. And we have a number of universities, hospitals and medical facilities available, part of our members. The value of consumer engagement in cancer research is becoming more important, in so much so that a number of funding bodies now require cancer applications, grant applications, to have a consumer involvement component in them. However, we found that a number of cancer researchers have difficulty with this, either because they don't see the value of cancer consumers involved in cancer, or they don't know where to look for consumers. So the TCRN in 2012 established the Consumer Advisory Panel, CAP for short, and it with an aim to set up a strategic model of consumer engagement in research so that consumers and researchers could come together to learn about each other and to help them. So there are now 10 members of the Consumer Advisory Panel. All of us have been trained in consumer engagement, and all of us have had some involvement with cancer, either as patients, survivors, or as carers. Okay, so there are 4 main platforms that we use to engage with researchers. At the broadest level, there are the information workshops, and these are aimed at those researchers who are new to looking at consumers, don't know how to go about it, don't understand the concept of consumer engagement. And so this is an opportunity for us to explain the concept of consumer engagement, for them to meet with consumers and hear successful consumer stories. So far, we've had about 150 researchers who have attended these workshops, and a number of these have resulted in consumers being involved with their research. The second level is the small group sessions. Now, these are held across 2 sections, one in November and the following February. And this is for those researchers who've moved to the next stage, who are thinking they've got a much clearer idea of their research, they're thinking about what they want to do, they're about to apply for a grant perhaps. So they come to the small group consumer advisory meeting in November and present their proposal. First, the consumers can ask them questions, make suggestions about changes to their research, to their focus, and then the researchers will go away. In the intervening months between November and February, they hopefully make the changes, and they come back in February and represent their proposals and can get some more feedback before they have to apply for a grant, which is usually around about March. The third aspect is the one-on-one. Now, this is where an individual or 2 consumers work very closely with a researcher and their team, and it usually takes the form of regular meetings with the researcher and their team, emails, updates, newsletters. We as consumers may be involved in doing actual research as associate researchers, and we may be named as co-authors on papers. It becomes particularly intense in that period leading up to research applications. And for those of us who have a number of researchers, having to read lots of research applications at 5 minutes to midnight is not the ideal. And hopefully by working with the researchers, they get to understand that, we need more time. It doesn't matter that we as consumers are not medical people or scientists. We get to learn about the research by having the researchers explain it to us in a manner in which we can understand it. We can ask them those really naive questions. And also, it's a reminder for the researchers that at the end of their research, there's a real person who's going to benefit from their research. In my case, I am a partner with a number of researchers, and at the University of New South Wales, I'm working with a group looking at ovarian cancer, at a group looking at soft tissue sarcoma, and at a group looking at hematological cancers. And when I met with that group, the latter group, the first time I said to them, all I know about blood is it's mostly red and I've got some, but apart from that, you know, you'll have to teach me the rest, which they've been trying to do. So there's a number of other platforms that we use as well. The CAP meets quarterly, and it's an opportunity for the CAP members to update the project team on our interactions with the researchers, and also for the TCRN project team to keep us up to date with what's happening. There's also, we're also actively involved in the 8 TCRN flagships, and some of us meet more regularly with the flagship groups than others. And we also provide support to PhD candidates, and this is the bit that I really like, because it's, you know, the object of get them young and train them. So while they're doing their early research, while they're doing their studies, we get them to come in and do a mock-up of an application, a grant application, and we can give them some feedback about how they can improve it. It's also, a number of us consumers have been on the consumer advisory panels for the Cancer Council, Cancer Australia, National Breast Cancer Foundation, so we know what the funding bodies are looking for when they're looking at an application. Overall, the program has been very successful. We've had over 75 consumer research partnerships in the years that's been operating, and last year 3 major grants were awarded to TCRN members. And in a recent survey, consumer engagement was identified as one of the most valuable research support services that the TCRN can provide the researchers. I hope I've made it all sound very easy, but it's not. There's still a lot of hard work and a lot of way to go. What we'd really like is for the researchers to drive the consumer engagement and to be the ones who want to, you know, keep in touch with us, and not just think about us as somebody whose name they can put on their research application at the last minute. So we're still working on it. We've increased the knowledge of consumers about research issues, and we've also dramatically increased the knowledge of researchers about consumers' engagement and how we can help them. And but we've still got some more work to do. So on behalf of the TCRN and my fellow CAP members, many of whom are in the audience today, I thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Catherine? Here we go. Thanks.
Hello, my name's Christine and I come from Northern New South Wales.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering, are your consumer advocates available for consultation solely for Cancer Institute grants, or any grants at all, or any topic or project that's to do with cancer?
Any grants, any topics. Doesn't have to be Cancer Institute. No, I'm a member of I'm a consumer representative with a number of different universities outside of this particular forum. Yep.
Okay, so other services could use this, the consumer.
Not the Consumer Advisory Panel, unless they're a member of the TCRN, but individual consumers, yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think one down the back, yes.
Hi, thank you for that great presentation. My name's Anne-Marie, I work for the Cancer Institute and I oversee our Consumer Advisory Panel.
Mm-hmm.
Just for clarity, just a quick question. You mentioned that you have the workshops, the small groups and then the one-on-ones. Are they in addition to your quarterly Consumer Advisory Panel meetings?
Yes.
Right, fabulous, okay.
Yep. It's usually on the same day, so we have the CAP meeting in the morning, and then in the afternoon we have the small group sessions, yes.
Catherine, we all know that there's very limited involvement of people with low English proficiency in cancer research. So how much of your work involves that involvement with people of diverse background?
Not much at the moment, no. I think all the members of the Consumer Advisory Panel are English speaking. Yeah, So unfortunately, not much, but it's an area for another room for improvement.
I'm very keen to work with you then. I work at the Cancer Institute along with Anne-Marie, who asked the previous question.
Okay, all right. Well, see Stella, our project manager there.
And last question here.
I know, that was Stella putting a hand up.
Stella put the hand up. There we go, Stella. Everyone knows Stella. Okay, thanks very much, Catherine. That's great.